Hi, this is Todd, and today we are at the new Echota State Park and Historic Site here in near Calhoun, Georgia. It's actually near Newtown, and never been here before. We're just going to actually take a look around. It's probably going to be a short little walk, but I'm always up for new things, especially historic sites. So stay tuned, and we'll get on our walk.
Cemetery walks. Come on a journey through the veil of time, where the voices of the lost in the silence chime. With every step, their stories rise through the mist where history lies. A cemetery walks, we'll find their trace, unravel the lifetime can't erase. Cemetery walks, the past comes alive when history talks. Cemetery walks, the past comes alive when history talks.
New Echota was the capital of the Cherokee Nation from 1825 to 1830, a period of significant development and self-governance for the tribe. It's where the Cherokee Nation formally adopted a republican government and established institutions like a national council, court, and print shop. The monument you see here, erected in 1931, is a physical reminder of the Cherokees' history and their forced removal from their ancestral lands. It stands near the entrance of the new Echota Visitor Center and is surrounded by the flags of the Cherokee Nation, the United Keetoowah Band of Cherokee Indians, the United States, and the state of Georgia. So this is Town Street. Goes off that way towards the cabins, where there's a group actually there touring with one of the rangers. I'm not going to get involved in that today. Just want to do this kind of solo. And the town says here, the Town Street. In November 1825, the Cherokee Council passed a resolution naming New Echota the national capital of the Cherokee Nation. In February 1826, Cherokee surveyors divided their new capital into a series of streets and 100 one-acre lots. You are now standing alongside one of the streets. So this was one of the streets, huh? Well, I have to say, it's beautiful here. We'll come back to that house. There's plenty other houses and things to see. This walking along a 1820s Cherokee Nation street is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Wonder what it really looked like back then before they left in the 1830s.
any other European language. It is, however, related to other Native American languages, such as Mohawk and Tuscarora. Working independently, a Cherokee man named Sequoyah had created a writing system for his language by 1821.
Well, that's too much work. This is the town square. Wow. You wouldn't know it. It is peaceful. It is beautiful. I would love to have one of these old houses, man. Is this an old well? Yep. Ooh, and that sucker's deep, and it still has water at the bottom. Wow. The Boudinois house, Boudot house, ever how you pronounce it. This is where the house was. And that's Harriet Gold, Boudot. We just got finished seeing her a little while ago, because that's where I stopped on my way here. And so that's what he and Elias and she both look like. The Treaty of New Echota, signed here December 29th, 1835. It's too bad it didn't last very long. Wow. It is nice here. Look at that old tree. That's a big one. Bet you it's been here a while. Need to pay attention where I'm walking. So definitely don't want to step on any snooks. That's Southern for snakes, just in case someone else is not from the South and wonders what in the world I'm talking about with a snook. I guess if you're from Great Britain, you have snooker, which is a form of pool, but that's not exactly what I'm referring to. Cherokee Phoenix. Salagi Tuile Gi Sanihi. Okay. 1828, there were 861 newspapers printed in the United States. Georgia had 18 newspapers, including Cherokee Phoenix. Egyptian and Greek mythology include many references to legendary phoenix, a bird who each 500 years created its own funeral pyre. gate being there, the desk being there, I'd have to assume that that other door was the main entrance. All your dies for each letter right there in that box. That's really cool. This is Town Street again. And just for giggles, I want to see if that door happens to be unlocked, which I doubt it. If there's a... Oh, it's locked. Now you see, I don't know if this was done over time, being the actual street it was. You can kind of see like ruts where wagons would have gone. Whether these are remnants of then or actually just happens to be a modern coincidence with the way that it's been cut. Look at that house. That's beautiful. This is the main house here, but let's start over here. How they use the wooden dowels to hold these sections together instead of nails. But lunch is served. This must have been a tavern or some sort of public house. You have the back of the fireplace there, door going into the room, some checkers over on that side. Mercantile, maybe? Old press. Room and board, 25 cents. Clean sheets, 10 cents. Whiskey, $1.60 a gallon. Wow. Salt is $4 a bushel. Tobacco, 50 cents a pound. Coffee, 2.5 pounds for $1. Flour, 12 cents a pound. And sugar, 5 pounds for $1. Ooh, that must have been steep back then. That just means that's just an optical illusion. No, but it is leaning a little bit. Looks like it's really leaning from here, but like I said, I'm sure it was somewhat of an optical illusion. Here's another view. This is Town Street 2. That way. And there. And this is another road. Hi, this is Todd. I want to take a brief moment while we're visiting the new Echota Historic Site to remind you not to forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are continuously trying to grow, and your support is greatly appreciated. Now let's get back to our walk. Well, so far, I'm really enjoying this. I've lived in Georgia since 1995, and I've visited most state historic sites, never been here. There are a lot of houses and cabins to see. And as you can tell, I'm here on this road behind me that used to be the actual town road of a Native American village, the Cherokee or Echota village. This is pretty cool. And I might actually get my little workout today because there are a few other places down the road that we need to see. Like the Worcester site. If you remember from, which is down this road, if you remember from the New Echota Cemetery, the Reverend Worcester and his wife lost a child there, and lost a child, and they are buried there. So I'm very interested to see what their house looked like, which I don't know if it's an approximation or not. I'll need to go back and check on that. If anyone knows, you can also throw those in the comments as well. I couldn't have asked for a better day for a walk. It's only supposed to be 90 today, which some of you saying 90, good God, that's hot. And it is. We got this little creek running through here. Which would have been a perfect place for its Newtown Creek is what it's called. And the Worcesters, the Worcesters, or whatever you want to call them, they picked a pretty good place. Now, I'm fairly certain that it wasn't this wooded back then, considering they would have used as much of the wood as possible for building homes, firewood, building stables and fences and everything. So most of your large mature trees would be gone. Here we go. The Worcester or Worcester site house. Early 1950s, 1934. That's Reverend Samuel A. Worcester and his wife Sarah. Well, I can say it doesn't look like what it did in the photos.
The original second floor to the home was removed sometime after 1889 due to structural damage to the roof. An additional room was also added to the back of the house. The house was occupied by various families until 1952. Between 1958 and 1959, restorations were completed where the additional room was removed and the second floor was added back to become what you see today. But if you're ever needing plans for a early 19th century home, this is a pretty good example of one. Now the tours, I believe, actually open up some of these places and let you go into them. There's your chamber pot down there up under the bed, in case you have the late night needs. Can you imagine living here in the middle of a Native Americans settlement during peacetime? Now this would have been the smokehouse, I believe. Yep. This would have been the smokehouse. It's where they would hang their meats. Here we have this little one-room cabin, which thankfully is open. Fireplace, little table and chairs. This would be the livestock pen for horses and cattle and such. That would have been, a small one would have been for chickens maybe. Survey line.
That's David Van, John Ridge, Joseph Van, excuse me. A town that disappeared, what you don't see. Town of New Echota that ceased to exist. In the 1800s, all of the buildings except for the Worcester House had been destroyed. Even the trees that once shaded the town had been cut and the area cleared for farming. The historic buildings you tour today represent only a small part of what was once the town of New Echota. So these are rebuilds of what the buildings would have looked like. How you like that step? Big old cut field stone. Cherokee dwelling house. There's another window here. Just one big room. That's enough. That would be enough. Corn crib. Or I guess where they have all the corn, and this is where. And this would have been what? Smokehouse? Yep. This would have been the smokehouse. Big one too. And then the stables. Old wagon. How those things, those wheels held up to rough terrain. No shocks. Well, that wraps up our visit here to the new Echota State Park and Historic Center. It's very nice. The weather really cooperated today. It started getting a little hot there at the end. The wind kind of died down, so it really started cooking, but really a pleasant shaded area, nice walk. There are a lot of trails here, which I didn't take. Definitely will be coming back in a little bit cooler weather to explore those as well. But if you have the chance to stop by, make sure you come to the new Echota, capital of the Cherokee State Park and Historic Site. So it's quite nice. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the videos. We are trying to grow the channel.
Thank you for watching Cemetery Walks. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click those share, like, and notification buttons to stay up to date with my latest videos and posts.